Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And again, good morning to all you good folks in Brownsville, Tennessee on 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. Jackson, Tennessee, News Talk 101.5, and right here in Memphis on AM 790, 92.9 HD FM. And appreciate talking to Jeremy Madley about the National Crappie League and On the Hook TV. But I'm really excited also to talk to this next young man because he's made a little history this year. He is the first angler. Anything first is pretty cool, right, Ron Wong?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. First angler in history to repeat as the BASS Nation champion.
That's right. That's
and
where
we're
all
talking. Listen to this. We're talking about a field that consists of 30,000 members.
Yeah.
More than 2,100 BASS Nation clubs in 47 states, 10 countries.
Yeah.
And we got the man himself, Will Davis Jr., on us with Outdoors with Larry Ray. Good morning, Will.
Good morning. How y'all guys doing?
How are we doing, Will? Life good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Life's good.
Well, let's talk about this. What you've not only accomplishments, but your priorities and things along this line. And you and Ron has posted, and we're going to try to find the picture of you and your dad when you won that blue trophy.
Yes, sir.
Because I can remember, and Ron reminded me of how emotional it was for you and your dad to be on that stage. And your dad has meant so much. So talk a little bit about the background to where you have come and where you are now.
So my dad has been in the bait business for right at 40 years.
Yes.
And I'm 31 now. So with that being said,
he was in it before you were born. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. He never forced me to become an angler or to fish or anything like that. It's just something that was instilled in me at an early age, watching him go fish a lot of tournaments. And I'll never forget when I was about 7 or 8 years old, my dad had a fishing partner, Tom Southern, and every time they go fishing, I'd cry like heck, because I was so disappointed I wanted to go. So I grew up, fishing around the house. My first fish I ever caught was on Lay Lake, and just kind of fished all the way through high school and a lot of the Federation events, and fished at college at Bethel University, and
absolutely.
And then I went, and after there, started flipping burgers for about 7 or 8 months, and couldn't really find a job.
Yeah.
That's right. So then I become a sleep technician at St. Vincent's in Birmingham.
I thought you were,
yeah. I worked there for 5 years, and I ended up working at a 5-star preserve in Kellyton, Alabama, at a quail guide place.
And now,
so,
you've paid the price for this, because if I remember correctly, Will, that you were in the BFLs for a while as a non-boater for a couple of years.
I was.
Even though you had a boat. I mean, that was that a learning experience? Do you credit that?
Had to be.
Yeah, it had to be a learning experience, wasn't it? I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys that's fishing out of the back of a boat, they don't have to worry about the next decision.
No.
Where to go find them. So they just sit back and soak it all in. So you definitely can learn from that.
And look what you've done now. I mean, 2023 will be a year to remember, and we're hoping 2024 is the same way. But to do this twice back, to win this honor twice, never been done before.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind about that? I mean, that's got to be extra special.
It's very special, and I don't take it for granted. I'm very fortunate to have 2 Brian Kerschel's memorial trophies in my house.
Yes.
Brian was I never got to meet him.
Right.
When I was born in 92.
Yeah.
He made a big impact on the sport. Just
yes, he did.
Short, time that he was here.
Yeah.
And I think that he would have been one of the greats, and he still is one of the greats.
He really is.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't take it for granted. I'm very blessed to be in this position. I definitely thank Bass for letting me come back and fish the nation championship to defend my title from last year. So.
Yeah. You still carrying that Bible in the boat with you? I mean,
I do.
Okay,
I do.
buddy.
Yeah,
all right.
That's good. And Will, to win it back to back, that's not only special.
It's grueling, man.
And what you've done and everything, but Larry was talking a little bit earlier, because you have already qualified through the elites for the 2024 Classic in Tulsa.
Yeah,
it opened the door for a couple of other guys to get in, didn't it?
It did. One of the guys that made it in through that win was David Gaston. He's from Sylacauga as well.
Yes, he is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that's pretty ironic.
Isn't it, though?
It is. With that being said, Tim Dewey, me and him became friends last year at Pickwick for the national championship.
Right.
And he finished second in the tournament, so that opened up, an elite berth for him. So
Right.
I'm super excited for him.
Well, Will, one of the things that I admire is a lure company that your dad owns. He makes just custom jigs, spinnerbaits, and that kind of stuff. Talk a little bit about your
The
Davis Lure
Bait
Company.
Yeah.
So, like I said, my dad's been in business, full time now for right at 30 years. He started about 40 years ago, and he makes top-notch lures, best in the world. He takes pride in his business. It's all made in the United States. With that being said, we're just a small town family, and we take pride in what we do. And
you do use the lures.
Well.
You do use the lures. Okay, we want to make sure of that.
Well, you also help. You also help design and tweak some of the baits that has always been in the line, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do some
like colors and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, if you ever if you need
Yeah.
somebody to name them, I'm here. Okay, that's my that's my goal in life is to name and have a name for official. Again, we're talking to Will Davis Jr., the first angler in history to repeat as the BASS Nation champion. And he kind of touched on a little while ago, Will. How big is your hometown there that you live in? How many people in that town?
I'd be lying if I said I don't know the population.
What is it? You got a stoplight?
It's pretty small.
You got a stoplight?
Yeah, we got a Walmart.
You got a Walmart. Oh man, you just ruined me now.
Depot and
you got some of those things, but for you and David Gaston, are y'all buddies? Y'all know each other? I mean, growing in the same town, that's just so ironic that he's taking advantage of your win to go into the Classic. So.
Yeah.
Have y'all talked?
Yeah.
You talked to him?
Yeah. He called me and congratulated me.
Yeah, you better. Yeah.
Yeah. First thing I told him when he called me, first thing I said to him, I said, "You owe me a steak dinner."
There you go.
There you go. Well, talk about the win. You were, if I remember correctly, you were leading after the second or third day. Talk about the tournament itself and how were you stressed?
You had the Bible in the boat with it, man. I know it. I read about it.
To try to win this thing, but talk a little bit about the tournament.
So, practice. It all starts with preparation. For a big tournament, and I went over there and practiced for the cutoff, which is a month prior to the cut. The month prior to the tournament, that's the cutoff period. So with that being said, I went over there like a month and a half before the tournament and spent some time over there, and it really fit my style. It's a pattern lake. I'm a fast-paced fisherman. So with that being said, I really liked what I saw, but I really didn't know how it was going to turn out during the, where them fish went. So with that being said, first day of practice, it was pretty good. We had 3 days of practice, and second day, it wasn't too good. Well, the third day, I figured out, a little deal that helped me win the tournament, and I was fishing a brush pile and throwing all the stuff you would think to throw in a brush pile, and they would follow it and wouldn't get it. So with that being said, I'd throw up there. I tied on a 3/4 ounce Davis wood jig and threw it up there, and it fell down from the pile. And as soon as it started falling, there was a fish on the side of it. It run down to it and leveled off. I said, that joker's got it. And I kept putting it, and it was a big one.
Oh.
So with that being said, that one fish keyed me in for the whole event.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So day one, I had 16 pounds and I think 1 ounce. I was in second, and I knew I'd had to catch them. I mean, them guys are some of the best in the world at fishing that.
That's right. Yeah.
They come from all over the world.
And you got your locals that are good, too.
That's right. So these guys can catch them. So you better not go out there and think you're going to catch them.
Right.
Because they're going to bring it.
And the weather changed, too. I understand. I remember you talking about the weather changed, too, didn't it? You had some.
It did. The final day it did.
Yes. Yeah. But you didn't blink, it says. You stayed with it.
I did. I knew it was going to change, and I just had to go off of history of what I do around the house when it changed. That's in October. That's what you want. You want one of them days where it's raining and blowing, and
And you did it, and of course, when you win $20,000, you didn't realize how many cousins you had, Will. I mean, that's right. That's the way it happens. Well, we only got a minute here left, buddy. I know Ron will be at the Classic.
I will see you there at the Classic.
Yes, Ron Wong will be representing Outdoors of Larry Ray, and I know it just even sounds good to say that you'll be at the Classic. I know it. And I know you got a lot of fans, even in our area here, pulling for you, Will, and just go get them. We got your number now, buddy. We'll talk to you between now and the Classic, hopefully, but have a great weekend and keep those priorities straight, okay?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Mr. Ron, Mr. Larry. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take a break on Outdoors of Larry Ray. Be right back.